What's going on, everyone? I'm here today with Jaddian, and he lives in Mexico. A black man that lives in Mexico. We was told about him. We were interested in hearing about his experiences living in Mexico because he left the United States. So, how you doing, Jaddian?
Doing really good, really good at the moment.
All right, at the moment, what you feeling bad earlier or something?
No, I'm just getting over a little cold. That's all. So my
Oh
voice is
yeah, man, I
very.
know because I was down under the weather maybe about a week or so ago, and man, I was feeling horrible. So I get it, bro. So for people that don't know much about you, could you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Like, where did you actually grow up at?
So I'm actually originally from the Bay Area or the Bay Area, California, Marin City. So I moved down to San Diego maybe about 8 years ago. So once I left the Bay Area, I moved down to Southern California, which is the LA area or Los Angeles, and the San Diego area. So pretty much with me, I have my computer certificate with web development. So I'm a web developer and I'm an actual computer programmer. So I do a lot of remote projects. So that's my occupation. I'm a computer programmer. I develop applications such as Android apps and web applications as well. So that's my occupation. That's my hobby. That's what I do on the side as well. That's what I love to do. So if I'm not exploring Mexico or doing something else, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm developing new concepts with my programming skills in the computer world.
Okay, so prior to you going to Mexico, did you try to obtain employment in Silicon Valley?
No, I did not. The reason why is because I would prefer to be a freelancer and an entrepreneur. I prefer to work for myself. I
Hmm.
hate to be on the clock. I hate to be on some on someone else's schedule. So, I can't really see myself doing the 9 to 5 job anymore. I've tried, the retail business, the wireless industry, and whatnot. But me, I feel more sustained by working on my own time. So, as far as working in Silicon Valley, no, I know it is a very big computer industry field, but like I said again, I'd rather be a freelancer and be an entrepreneur rather than work for someone else.
Well, I feel you on that because I am a big proponent of doing for self, creating businesses. So, I applaud you for attempting to try to do things like that. Now, when you were looking at Mexico, what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna go into Mexico? What made you say that?
Honestly, I'm an opportunist. So pretty much it's like people say it's dangerous out here, and you have your danger zones everywhere in the world. And for everyone that grew up in the Bay Area, it can't get really any worse, So it's just like if you live in fear, there's no point of leaving the house. So me, I like to leave the house, so therefore I don't live in fear. So moving to Mexico, one of my ex-girlfriends, when I used to live in San Diego, she has family out here in Tijuana. It's a city within Mexico, and San Diego is about maybe an hour away from the border of Mexico, and Tijuana is the border city once you cross into Mexico. So once we come out here and visit her her family on the weekends, I started to, observe the area and pretty much adapt to the environment. So I told myself, hey, I can be around these people, they're clowns to the extent like they like to joke around, just like black people in the community. They treat you like family. But it all depends on how you carry yourself as well. So I just felt like I can adapt to the people and the culture out here, based on my personal visits out here. So I just decided to pack up my bags and come out here. And I was just so tired of what was going on systematically in the United States, culturally, socially, and again, systematically.
So you stated that systematically you were tired of certain things within the United States. What were you actually tired of?
Okay, so for example, when I refer to systematic, and I'm sure you probably have some experience on this. So when it comes to the system, politically, governmentally, as a black man in the United States of America, I personally feel like the system is against us. That's just how I feel personally as of today, how I see the United States of America, towards the black man. And I know, you could agree on me on certain points because you live in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Mexico, but I just follow Facebook and the news out there and whatnot. Um, but like I said again, systematically, it's like working 10 times as harder as a normal, ethnic background out there as well. So it's just it's set up in a way for us to fail pretty much, So it's like when I used to work out there, for a perfect example, when I used to work out there, I was making minimum wage, in the retail industry, wireless. But when I came and moved out here, I made more money in a month, doing remote, projects, via computer than I did inside the United States, working for someone, So, and it's like, the U.S., I mean, I don't mean to be political and whatnot, but a quick in a nutshell, out here in Mexico, they say it's muy libre. And when they say it's libre, which means free, you have freedom. Freedom out here. You're not attached to the government. You're not attached to, anything that really follows you. So, like, for example, in the United States, if you have a social security number, if you're a born citizen, anything you do or anything that goes heinous or not, the government can track you of doing every little thing and nickel and dime you as far as your job or this or that or this or that. So, for example, my mom, I guess she forgot to file her taxes the previous year, so they nickel and dimed her $500 just for not, filing her tax the previous year. Like, man, they try to squeeze every penny out of you, So it's just like, damn, it's like every time I hear something over, the USA is always something new, you know. So like I said again, it's the system. The system is set up not to help black people, and it all goes back, with the race system. When the slave days were here, when it was brought from the United Kingdom, when Great Britain had brought the race system to the United States, it was America was never created to help black Americans. Like I said, I don't mean to be, but if we really look at it, it's not. Like, for example, when the slaves were brought over here to the United States, there were slaves. So a quick example is that, okay, even though the Europeans were getting rich off free labor, free resources, and free commodities out here, where were we? And people are talking about reparations, giving back to other ethnic groups, like the Jews that played a part in the Holocaust, and the Japanese that played in the Pearl Harbor. Billions and billions of dollars were distributed to these different ethnic groups. But what about our people? We built America,
Mm-hmm.
so America is what it is as of today, it was built on a backbone of our ancestry, but where's our reparations? And for example, if reparations were distributed to us, if I was the one that was giving out the reparations and knowing how black people are with money, I wouldn't just give it to them cash in hand. I would put it in schools. I would put it in, businesses that they can build upon. I would put it in valuable things that will help them economically rather than just give them a bundle of cash. I will put it
Hmm.
in resources that will help them grow.
Exactly. And some people, and I've been reading my comments because, we just have these discussions and we talk about uh, those who have benefited off of our labor, our lives, our culture, and everything. We're not speaking about the everyday white person that's trying to pay their bills and keep their lights on. We're talking about the elite white folks. That's the ones we're talking about. The ones who want to exploit everybody and even believe it or not, exploit their own people. But I think that's what the conversation gets confused at, where a lot of people start writing, well, hey, I have never benefited off of like, and maybe you ain't benefited a thing, but it's a system that was created by people of your ancestry or persuasion that
Mhm.
is doing these things. So we want to make sure we make that clear, because I notice that's a confusion for some people who could be listening. How are you actually treated down there when people see you versus, let's say, if you here in America?
Now, with that question, there's a lot of concepts that play a part. And the reason why I say concepts, because we're foreigners here. So, for one, being an American. Two, being the ethnicity of Afrocentric, because that's pretty much what I am, and just how you carry yourself as well. So, going back to the first concept, being American. So, being American here, they treat you really good because they see us they portray us on media, they portray us on their TV that they watch. So they automatically assume that we're rich. We have a lot of materialistic things that are beautiful. So the next concept is being black. So we do have we do have our advantages physically out here with personal preference out here. Now, how you carry yourself? Me personally, usually I'm goofy at times, and I just like to carry myself with respect, and I'm very attentive. If they need help, I'm always willing to do something to help them in my power if it's convenient. So they treat me really good. I mean, really, really good based on those three concepts, but really heading more towards how you carry yourself again personally. They treat me more than awesome. I've yet to come across a horrific experience of being treated in a certain way, versus in the United States. But again, it's how you carry yourself.
Well, you keep saying how you carry yourself. What are you getting at? If somebody's being extremely humble, I mean, what
So
do you mean by that?
I'll give you a perfect example. If you bring buffoonish ass nigga actions out here, I'll be 100 with you. So for example, if you bring that nigga mentality out here, what I mean by nigga mentality is pretty much acting a fool, being uncivilized, and doing stupid shit. So if you come out here doing that, you're going to be treated a whole lot differently versus if you carry yourself with a lot more respect. So
Okay.
again, and that's why my YouTube videos or whatnot, I always try to point that out there. When you come down here, always come out here with respect and treat people how you want to be treated. So again, that's exactly what I'm getting at. It's how you carry yourself in your actions, and everyone's different. So when I'm out here, I don't represent myself. I'm a reflection of all African Americans in these people eyes and in the locals people eyes, because they don't usually see too many African Americans out here. So when they look at me and anything I do, I'm a reflection of all of you guys. So for example, let's say if I was just here for a week and no one has ever seen an African American in person here, and they never knew how they acted in person. So let's say if I acted like a complete buffoon, tearing shit up, cussing everyone out and doing all these heinous actions, and I leave. Let's say another group of African Americans come down to the same area. Guess how those people are going to look at these people, the new African Americans that came here? They're like, well, I don't know about them. The last dude that came down here, he was a damn right buffoon. So I don't really trust these people because I don't want to take that risk on pretty much having them take those actions. So again, it's prejudging, it's stereotyping, but we're all human. We all do it. So again, when I'm out here, I'm a reflection of you guys. That's how the people see me. So I have to always tell myself I can't be selfish with myself, because if they look at me, they're gonna look at the next group of African Americans that come out here. So if I'm, being respectful, if I'm being nice, I'm being goofy, smiling, or any other positive way, they're gonna think, wow, this guy actually is not so bad than what I seen on TV. Because on TV, what America shows is a bunch of thug ass niggas killing each other, doing this and that, and blah blah blah. Wow, this guy's actually different than what I see on TV. So again, I try to tell all the brothers that come out here, I'm paving the way out here for you guys, and I'm building a good profile for you guys. So when you guys do come out here, people will be like, oh wow, I remember that other black guy. He's actually really cool. So let me give this guy a shot at something. So that's what I mean about how you carry your sense, or did that kind of answer your question?
Well, I don't know if you were looking at my face and you was talking, but I'm about to hold your hand and walk with you for a minute. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. First, you said that when you go out there to Mexico, all thing they know about black people is what they see in the media. Then you said there's some positive things about being black out there. You said that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the way you alluded to it at first, it was a great thing. Now, me listening to this, who obviously is in dealing with media propaganda all the time toward us as black people, nothing about what they report about us is good and extremely stereotypical. Then later in your conversation, you backdoored and said that same media showed people in Mexico and we some thugs and we some whatever else. So it's quite confusing that in one minute you said the media shows good stuff and alluding to that. Then the next minute you said that,
Shows
well, hold on, let me finish. You said that what they show us being some thugs, so we got to act a certain way. Then when you was talking about inward things, okay, you say acting like a buffoon, a clown, or this or that and the third. But the problem I have with that is, well, white folks go down there and do the same thing too. Are they described as doing inward stuff? I'm just trying to figure that out. Why is that behavior relegated to us, which everybody does that same kind of behavior?
I mean, come on, let's be honest here.
I'm being honest. I'm just saying that everybody has the potential to act a fool, to act like a buffoon, to clown, to cause a scene, get drunk, do stupid stuff.
But I think what you're trying to do is dilute my focus on the black people. So
No. I'm not diluting. I'm just listening. I'm listening to what you said. I'm only responding to what you said.
Well, you said about what about how does the white people look when they come out here? I'm not focusing on that. Like I said, when I'm speaking in terms, I'm focusing on my people that look like me, and I'm giving you my personal experiences, and like I said, I'm trying to reconstruct and build a new Black American civilization down here that's respectable, and we respect each other. We carry ourselves with a higher level of respect versus in the United States. That's one of my biggest points down here. That's why I love to bring brothers down here, and I try to separate them from the buffoons, because of course the buffoons make us look bad as a whole. So one of my goals is to bring all of the civilized brothers down here that we respect each other. We carry ourselves with a high self respect, and pretty much just show everyone else that we're not what we're portrayed on the media. And I don't know that you said that on the media. I said that we're portrayed as good or whatnot. No, I'm saying here in Mexico, these people only have access to see us on TV because they can't just walk across the United States border and just look at our culture. So
Hmm.
so the majority of the media that I see on American TV, like, come on, man, you live in the USA, you know how the media is at this moment. I can give you a bunch of examples. You know, for example, the whole Beyonce charade and her dance at the Super Bowl with the Black Panthers, and I mean, I don't want to go into detail about that because you
I
already
get it. Let's stop. I get it. That's the only thing I was saying. The only thing I was trying to point out was the media is not a good gauge to show how black people are because the media,
agree.
yeah, because
I
media would not show us in the best of light at all, especially American media.
I completely agree with you, and that was my point. I said again how the media portrays on TV as being thugs, being badasses, and doing all this, you know, crazy stuff that they put on TV. That's all that Mexico is seeing of us. You know, they're not seeing, you know, the goods of us. They're only seeing what they see on TV, on American channels, on America's media. And when I'm down here, I'm pretty much the portrayer. So I have to I have to show them that's not who we
So,
are
so
on TV.
basically, what you're saying is the same thing here in America. Is that one black dude represents the whole race, and which is very unfair. I hate that crap because nothing you do should represent me. Nothing I do should represent you. You your
Exactly.
own man. I'm my own man, or whoever else. Now, the thing is, you know, with some of the things you were saying about even behavior. I think that happens everywhere, whether you're here in the States, Mexico, Africa, whatever. If you act like an idiot and do stupid stuff, not many people are not going to like you. But if you act right, don't cause problems, don't be a criminal, whatever else, I think more people will probably want to talk to you or whatever. And I get what you're saying. If you go to Mexico, you're not going to bring, people that's going to go up there and act a fool. Well, I don't think that's a country we want to do that in anyway. To be honest with you, no. But blacks. I don't know if you know a lot of the history of blacks within Mexico. Blacks was always going to Mexico. Even a lot of slaves in Texas that would
Hmm.
escape from the plantations, they would go into Mexico. A lot of them joined the Mexican armies, and even the Mexican army would run out white slave masters in the slave patrol, the original police. Make sure you write that down. Slave patrols, the original police. They ran them out of Mexico, and a lot of blacks were settled in Veracruz. And that's why you have
Yeah.
a black population there as it is. I mean, that's just before, because I did a lot of research into Mexico and how blacks got down there, during slavery. But and I saw some of your videos. I looked at your YouTube channel as well, and you were showing that, showing the blacks that was there. Now, how did you feel when you saw a lot of blacks in Mexico?
To be honest, it was well, I had to step out of my box and not be so ignorant. Also having a lack of knowledge of something. That's what defines being ignorant, having a lack of knowledge on a
Hmm.
particular subject. So the blacks down here in Mexico, how I discovered those, well, since I lived here in Tijuana, there's a lot of mixed heritage here or mixed ethnic background. So when you know a person and you see them and they look like they got black in them, you're going to be curious. Like, wait a minute, you look like you have a little bit of black in you or whatnot. So I started to ask them questions like, hey, where are you from originally? So when they tell me, hey, soy de Guerrero and whatnot, and they'll actually tell me like you'll actually see people like your color down there. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, now this is getting really interesting. So I had to take it down and see it for myself with my own two eyes. So the first time I went down there was back in November, which was about 3 months ago. And wow, man, it was it's a very, very big different experience from hearing it And from doing your studying, for like for you example, you knowing the history of Mexico and the blacks and whatnot, but seeing it in person is a complete different ball game. I mean, when I first stepped on the soil out there, nothing but mixed blood between the Native Americans and the Afrocentric blood. I mean, like black and Native American communities within the crossbreed between the two. So, like I said, the correct term to use in the caste system back then, when the Spaniards colonized Mexico, they would be known as Zambos. And Zambos is pretty much a person with mixed heritage of only Native American, or indigenous is the correct term for Native American people, and African blood. So, and that's minus the European blood. So Zambo is the people that have the mixed blood between African and indigenous, or the native people here.
Yeah, because even we did a story a long while ago about John Horace and the Black Seminole Indians. When they
Yes.
had their tribes, it was Native American, African, and they even escaped into Mexico as well after they had made treaties with the white folks over here. And of course, they like, forget them treaties. We're going to steal their land again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of Black and Native American, actually Seminole tribes went to Mexico. So it's good to hear that those people are still doing okay today. But let's get down to the real deal. A lot of people come over to this country, risk their lives to come here illegally. We see this stuff. They're pouring into the border all the time. It is a legitimate issue to discuss. So why is it that if you have this much greatness going on in Mexico, why is it these people are flooding into the United States? Children, adults, men, women, it has not stopped. So what's the difference between what you got going on versus what those people have going on, risking their lives? Sometimes the coyotes, you know what I'm talking about, the coyotes sometimes rape the girls or the women and do all kinds of stuff. Sometimes don't even make it. They kidnap them, put them in human trafficking within Mexico if the little girl or the woman looks nice or whatever. I mean, it's a dangerous situation. I mean, and that's something that we should really point out. So why is it that these people are trying to flood the United States, but you saying it's good over there? What's the difference?
I mean, it's very simple. I mean, anyone outside of Europe, or even in Europe, but anyone outside of the United States wants to live that American dream. And how the American dream is portrayed is you have to be glamorized with all these materialistic example. The reason why people want to go back to or go to the United States initially is to either live that American dream, but mostly because they feel like they have more opportunities down there. So again, and I get these experiences through people who've tried to cross the border and that have crossed the border in the past that got deported back to Mexico. So the reason why, again, people want to go there because they feel they have more opportunities. They feel they're going to make a lot more money. They feel they're going to get a better job out there, which will allow them to help their family and send the money out here. So it's kind of, they feel like they're going to be able to climb out of a shithole pretty much. So it's a better opportunity financially and educationally that they'll gain out there. And again, the majority also as well is what's displayed on the media, on TV, these lavish lifestyles and these materialistic things that they believe in that they're going to get if they cross the border into the USA. Now, that's speaking from the materialistic side. Now, me coming from the USA, I've seen the poor, I've seen the gutters, I've seen the rich, I've seen the materialistic things. Like I said, Marin County, and there's a city called Tiburon. Tiburon is ranked the most 14th richest city in the nation. But where I came from, it's a little bit more on the low poverty side. So I've been around to see both ends of the stick. So when I came here to Mexico, and once you step outside of the United States, your mentality will continuously change because you're accepting and observing different things around you. So, for example, here in Mexico, for me, I don't care about the materialistic things. I don't care about having a three-story house and a Dodge Viper and this and that. Like all of that is based on the average typical American mentality to have these materialistic things. But when I'm out here, the people are happy. They don't care about what they have like the Americans. It's a family orientated. I feel like it's a family orientated nation. So like I said, they value the people around them more than the materialistic things. So maybe that rubbed off on me. But again, I've really never been a big fan on having this and that and this and that. But out here, it's how the people treat you out here. Again, like I have the money to live in Rosarito or Ensenada, where all the other American tourists are living at, with 2 to 3 story houses for like under $1,000 a month, and 2-story house in American style for like $500 a month. Like I'm able to afford that, but do I? No. I'd rather be around the people that's going to treat me well, like family, and respect me and make me feel good around here. So again, the people here, when they look at America, they want to cross the border to the United States is because it's X amount of reasons. Is to live that American dream, or they feel like they're going to have more opportunity finding jobs to provide for their family here, and pretty much they're going to climb out of a shithole. They feel like it's a shithole here, so they want to live that American lifestyle and and be in that society. And of course, the TV and American media has a big influence on their mentality on why they want to cross in. Like I've been approached by so many people. Hey man, I want to go to the USA, and the women too. Like man, I love the United States, even though I've never been there. Of course, in Spanish, this and that, yada yada yada. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, man, que pendejas ustedes. It's the American media that's selling them this dream to live out there in the United States. And then again, just like you said, the coyotes, that's a dangerous ass position to be in if you're going to, go with the coyotes or whatnot. I mean, that's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
It has its ups and downs. I'm not gonna get into that for disclosed reasons. I know.
Oh yeah, I don't think we need to get into that conversation. You live in there.
Exactly. So, like I said, again, I don't try to affiliate with any of those kind of backgrounds or any of those industries or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question is that I don't see things through the materialistic point of view, and with why the people here are trying to cross over to the United States. Again, it falls into a list of opportunities, jobs. They'll feel like they want to make enough money to provide for their family
Mm-hmm.
out here, or they want to live the American dream, or they have their own personal reasons. They want to live that lifestyle. So, like I said, there's multiple reasons why they want to cross into the USA. But again, I really think it comes from the American media, how it's portrayed on TV. And they look at us as Americans as money, 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 because they're comparing their situation to the United States and what they see on TV. I mean, does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, yes, the TV, if you watch it, I get that. But basically what you said is just, in a nutshell, why they're trying to cross over. It's not a good situation where they're at. They're trying to go somewhere where they feel they can make something for themselves, and that's just kind of what it is. And the reason why I brought that up is because we want to make sure, because I already know people in the comment section are going to be like, well, why they rushing over here? And then I'll have even some people from Mexico probably tell me, look, I'm trying to come over here too. So before I wrap this up, what is the chatter in Mexico about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, man, you didn't give me an hour on this show. I thought we were going to be talking for more than an hour, man. So many things to go over. But the whole situation with Donald Trump, out here, everybody knows him. They don't like him just because of the fact of what he has going on in the United States towards Mexican Americans and to all of the illegals or immigrants out documentation and paperwork out there. So it's kind of like, honestly, out here in Mexico, they don't really care about other other country problems because it doesn't affect them. It's not affecting them locally. For example, whatever happens in the United States, that's a United States problem. It's not affecting the local people here. So like, yeah, Donald Trump is saying this and that. So for all the illegals that are in the United States territory, they're going to be affected by it. Not the locals here, so they don't really care about the United States problems out there. But they're aware of Donald Trump, and yes, they think he's an asshole, so they don't really make a big deal out of it because they're not affected by his policies and anything that's contributed to the United States.
Yeah, and that's amazing because the United States is involved with everybody else's stuff, and that's how most countries are. They ain't worried about nobody unless it directly involves them. But Donald Trump say he gonna put up this wall, and because the president of Mexico is to open his mouth, he say he done got 10 feet taller. Donald Trump crazy. To a point, I laugh at Donald Trump a lot because it's amazing to watch somebody that be that silly and people take him seriously. I'm like, man, is the people in this country really that slow and simple that you would take somebody like Donald Trump extremely seriously? But unfortunately, we have a lot of people that's following this guy, and they fighting and everything else in Donald Trump meetings, Klan rallies. So it is what it is. But how can people find you on your YouTube channel? That way people can connect with you and you can have the conversation with them a little bit more if they're interested about going to Mexico.
Well, I have a channel. It's called Hidden Mexico description boxes, so you can find my YouTube, my Facebook link, and my email, and all of my point of contact information within my description box. So again, you can just go into Google, type "Black Man in Mexico." I'm like all over the the first page that pops up or whatnot, and you'll find all of my contact info through my description boxes or whatnot.
All right, we'll probably put at the beginning a card on the actual interview itself where it'll show your YouTube channel, so people can just click that, go look at it, and then whatever you guys see there on his channel, you could talk to him about that. We're not gonna get into some things that he puts on his channel. That's between y'all and him and that conversation. I'm pretty sure some of you guys would love to discuss some things you see on his channel with him. So, but anyway, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing a little bit about Mexico, some of your experiences, and we make sure you take care of yourself out there.
Okay. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem.